Radio Takeover Tuesday. My brother Rue coming, always doing a million and one things. We got the executive producer here with us today. Um, so I'm just going, like wing it until they get here, because I got some really serious things going on that I would like to talk about. Things in our community that we are all faced with, dealing with right now. Domestic violence, the destruction of the black family. Those are a lot of things that me as a black woman always try to stay in the loop of and be mindful of and try to get people to understand how important it is to protect black women and to keep our black families together. So, that's one of the things that I would like to talk about today, a little bit. But this is PSA Glockaware Radio, Takeover Tuesday, every Tuesday, 5 to 6. I'm your girl, Nick Raw Cannon. My co-host Rue the Assist, he's coming. Executive producer Mile. We got special guests today. We don't introduce special guests. We let special guests introduce themselves. So when they get here, that's what we'll do. But you coming on, sir? You just walk across the camera. You coming on, sir? I said you just walked across the camera. You coming on, sir? It's just like we live, baby. We live. We on the air now. We on the air now. Do you hear the support? Okay. Okay. Well, we'll see. Let's see how that support go. Anyway, so let me just get into kind of what everybody right now is dealing with, what everybody is seeing on the TV right now. And one of the things that I always talk about is black women and us being protected. And everybody got a lot to say about that. Unfortunately, a young black woman was taken away from us, her children, her family, and just watching and listening to some of the things that people are saying, like, as black women, we need to choose better. We need to pay attention to guys that, don't really like us, or we need to watch who we meet and we dating when we going out partying in the club and stuff like that. And for me, like, the boat is totally being missed here because, like, I'm sure everybody know Ashley Lockhart was stabbed. She was stabbed by, the children, the father of her 6 daughters, and it was gruesome. It's been all over the news. It's all over social media. This family's life has just been put all on public because of this horrific and horrendous act that happened to this lady. And some of the things that are being said is like, kind of putting responsibility on her for, not picking it right, or, you know, be careful who you sleep with. It's a lot of different things that, I see. It's a lot of support. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of support out there. A lot of people out there that's just like, this is crazy. These children, they got their mother and father taken away from them. So it really is, a tragedy. It really is a tragedy. But what I want people to understand is this is a black family that has been torn apart. This woman lost her life. These children lost their mother. They lost their father. And this is one of the reasons why I advocate so much for black families keeping together, being open and honest with each other, addressing our traumas, getting the help that we need. Black men out there, get the help that y'all need. Like, it's so much on the black man to perform. It's so much on him to, be the king that we need them to be. And they do it and they try so hard to act like it's just not, everything is cool, everything is okay. and they not really addressing underlying issues. Now, I'm not making no excuse for this black man. I really don't. For the life of me, there's nothing in me that can come up with any reason or no rhyme or reason behind what could have provoked him, what he could have thought of, or anything like that. It's nothing that comes to my mind that makes me think, oh, this is why this brother did this to the women of his children. It's nothing in my mind that can make me think of that. And all I can think of is what is wrong, what was wrong with him, what was happening with him. Like, this is crazy. This is horrendous. I mean, as a mother, a black woman, it hurts. Like, it's really sad. And it just goes to, we talk about all the time, you know, our black women, and saying the names of black women that have died at the hands of the police, saying the names of black women who have died at the hands of domestic violence or online dating and, you know, intimate partner rejection. And this is it right here. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this woman, these children, this man, the tragedy behind it all, like just the whole family breakdown is just, it breaks my heart, and it just further solidifies my argument of, we got to protect our black women out here. You know, the fact that she had a PFA, I mean, excuse me? She had a PFA. Yes, she had a PFA. I'm not the kind of person that's going to sit in here and talk at y'all for a whole hour. I'm not just going to do it. I'm a people person. I interact. I have conversations. I'm not, you know, just a person that's just going to sit up here and talk for a whole hour. But yeah, she definitely had a PFA. But you know, the systems behind these services, we always talk about the systems, we always talk about the services that we get, the protections that we have, and the systems that are designed to do that aren't really benefiting us. The fact that this lady had a PFA, and it meant nothing. It meant nothing. Her life was still taken so senselessly and so horrifically. Like, to be, it was definitely, in my mind, what I see is a crime of passion. Like, that's just, and that's not what's passion is. I don't even really want to use that word, because, like, how can that be a reflection of passion? When you think about passion, that's not what comes to mind. You don't think about somebody being brutally murdered by somebody that they love. You don't think passion, but, you know, feelings and hurt feelings and, you know, mental health, all of these things come into play, and it means a lot. It definitely means a lot for us to, you know, take accountability, look at who we are, you know, ask questions for ourselves. Like, are we doing, what are we doing to better ourselves? If we're not in a good space, what are we doing to get there? Are we trying to get there? I mean, it's definitely a serious subject, and a lot of us need to really tap into that and have conversations with our folks. Talk, like, the communication. Oh my God, the breakdown in communication is horrible. It kills me. It kills me with my children. It kills me with my husband and my own family. It's just, you know, I see it like, come on, put these phones down. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. You know, people won't answer the phone, but they'll text you. I'm guilty of that too. Like, I'm definitely guilty of that, because, you know, we have this convenience at the tip of our fingers, and we get a little busy, and we feel like, okay, we got text messages, we can just message, we can just text. And sometimes, well, actually a lot of times we lose that human interaction and all of that. So, hi.
So she had a PFA on him already?
She had a PFA. I do not know if it was current, but I know she had a PFA. And, it is
So
only as good as a piece of paper that is written on.
So the signs was there. The signs was there that he was an abusive person.
I mean, clearly, if she got a PFA against
the young lady that got stabbed like 24 times.
Brother, I'm going to lead with, my black women, the protection of my black women, saying the names of black women being killed. And I haven't talked about it in a while. And I come to the show, and it's all over the news. It's all over the news. It's everywhere. It's all over social media. And I led with it because it's a lot of support out there. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of ignorant comments being made, like, you gotta watch who we picking, who we sleeping with, who you meet at the club, kind of putting some responsibility on her for this happening. And it kind of made me a little mad. So I wanted to come in and just, talk about that today. But, it's, as far as I know, it was a PFA. I don't know if the PFA was current, but nonetheless, this is a black woman who lost her life. This is 6 beautiful girls that lost their mother and their father. And this black man is, who knows what the system got in store for him at this point.
Is this showing?
I can't hear you.
I can't hear this showing.
You take the mic off and turn it off. Turn it on.
Hello?
There you go.
All right, there you go.
You been up here for over a year. You don't not work the mic down? You don't not work the mic yet?
See, this is what's wrong with black folk. Instead of just supporting your brother, you want to pop shots.
We got you on there. We got you working.
So I came into something heavy, and no, not heavy. This is kind of normal. Unfortunately, I ain't gonna say it's heavy. It's kind of normal.
It's normal, but it's still heavy.
The point, it's a point that you made, and I would say I'm one of those people that kind of lean towards that sometimes too, as far as I understand that a woman should be able to go wherever she wants to go. She should be able to wear whatever she wants to wear. I'm never going to put it on you and say what you're wearing and where you're at justified whatever happened to you. But because we all understand we live in rape culture. We live in domestic violence culture. We live in black women are material culture. Like they're not men are men. We're men. Women go along with the money, the car, the tour. Like she's one of the properties. You feel what I'm saying? So we live in that culture, and that's the only reason why I will inform my daughter, watch where you go.
Yeah, it's
watch
not
how you dress.
To me, it's not. You can't explain. You can't excuse the actions of whatever he did or whatever man did, whatever he did to a woman. But I just feel like some women put themselves in bad positions for stuff that happened to them.
So I'm going to disagree with both of y'all. Okay. And I'm going to say that a woman has a right, the father of her children, she should be able to feel protected by the father of her children.
Not if you're a piece of shit. Not if you're a piece of shit.
I would even play devil's advocate with that, because I just had a conversation just a couple minutes ago where it was we need to learn more about the people we dealing with.
Yes. No, that's true.
And going on even further, like not just that this person is showing you signs, because they normally do, men or women show you signs. That's the reason why I take ownership in the situation that I'm in, like say with my daughter's mom. The patience that I may extend comes from the fact that I knew better. I had trepidations. Not that she wasn't a good woman, not that I didn't think she could be a great woman or, a great mother or whatever the case may be. I still seen certain things that I should have been like, this is not the greatest of ideas. And then the other part about that is I really was oblivious to her orientation, which the conversation that me and this young lady who's going to introduce herself, because we don't introduce anybody on the show. Okay. So before I just feel like we're in a space where all right, the culture that we live in is violent. Period, point blank. We live in a very, very violent place that promotes violence. They capitalize off violence. They use violence as a way to structure things, eliminate people, however you want. This country was built on violence. So even with the gun violence now, one of the reasons why I don't really talk about it that much is because there's other things that led up to it, and stop acting like America has not always been violent since black folk came over here. It's always been violent. And they've always had a culture that made black men, young black men period, look more violent than they are, to the point where we're scared of ourselves. So my protection and information and informing, even though my sister, you are 100% right. Again, you supposed to be able to go wherever you want to go. Damn near for real, say whatever you want to say outside of just really disrespecting people in a very nasty way. You supposed to. And I'm with that. But the culture we live in says, I got to tell you, sis, that might not be the best place, sis.
And
if
the
you
systems
met
that
over
we
here,
have
no
in
doubt.
place to try to protect us don't.
Yes.
Period. Because it's not like she didn't see the signs. She wouldn't have had a PFA if she didn't see the signs. She was navigating that situation. I don't have no details on that.
Right.
But it's clear that she did something because it's steps you got to go in order to get that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
No,
got to
no
go
doubt.
to court. It's things you have to do in order to get that. So she was definitely taking those steps. But my thing is, it's too much for me. It's too much
you.
of the victim shaming
got
and the
you. I
victim
got you.
blaming going on because, oh, she had 6 kids by this man. She ain't know who he was. She ain't know what he was like. She ain't know. Like, come on, okay.
Right.
Clearly.
Right. No, I understand.
That's why she
now,
did what she did. But in that moment, in that instance, did that girl fear for her life? She was sitting in the front seat of the car, chilling. That was,
I don't even know the story.
it was, yeah, she was in the van. She was sitting in the front seat of the van.
Can we get a little backstory over again? Because I definitely want to bring her in because I feel like she definitely has something.
I know everybody out there know that it's all over social media. Okay, Miss Ashley Lockhart was stabbed on Saturday in a minivan in West Philadelphia multiple times by her boyfriend, her children's father. I don't know if it was ex, current, whatever, but she had a PFA. I don't know if the PFA was current. She was stabbed so many times in the body, in the face, in the head, so horrifically that the knife was still in her head when the police arrived on the scene.
Now
I'm hearing discrepancies in the amount of times, 18 times, 25 times. I don't know. Say that
Who
again.
van it was?
I have no idea. I don't know.
we gonna find.
She was
definitely
sitting in
gonna
the
find out more
passenger
about
side
it.
of the van.
Right.
She was sitting in the passenger side of the van. She
And
wasn't in the driver. Because when you see the video, it's on the Shade Room and all. Like, it's all over social media.
All the Jones I don't watch.
If you, yeah, like
I
if
really
you,
don't know the
it's,
story.
yeah, but even with the news, like even on news stations and stuff like that, they have shown, like you show him open the driver door, jump in the vehicle and start, like you could see it tussling going on, like he starts stabbing her. She not sitting in the front of the car thinking she about to die.
No.
She in no way, and it's, my whole point is that this is the problem why black women have these trust issues with men, have these issues, period, with safety and security. It's because, like, okay, you didn't pick the right what the hell? Come on, like, we all got history. We all got trauma. Like,
Because she
this
had
is,
6 kids, though, with her?
6 beautiful, I don't know. No, the children wasn't with them when it happened.
No,
No,
I'm saying,
she
but they
said
were
Oh,
Right.
yeah, they have
6
six
children together?
beautiful daughters.
How many years did that span?
I mean,
Because I mean, to me, These are things that matter because it's like I know females that get PFAs just to like show you, and then 2 weeks later they sleeping with him. And the way his crime was done, that's a passion crime.
And I was just saying that word.
Was she playing with his feelings?
I was just saying that word.
6 years of his chaos.
I was just saying that word. Right,
he's been angry. He's been, so these are things like it's gonna led up to that. And then like the thing about it is sometimes when you realize someone isn't good for you or they have the potential, you need to leave them alone and stay alone. So she might have should have left him alone 3 kids ago.
And you know what? That story right there is like the ongoing story, and it's one of the most, I want to say, stereotypical statements about a woman in an abusive situation that I've had to do. I know people, and I work with people. I know people that work with people. When you're in a domestic violence situation, it's not that easy to leave.
I am a domestic violence.
Yeah. So you know from experience. Right. You know from experience that it ain't always that easy to just leave.
No, but I was one kid before I did.
Right, but you are you.
No.
Go ahead, say what you're gonna say, brother.
I mean, along those lines, though, right? When is it not victim blaming, though? Like, I understand that it's not right. Nobody says that it was right. Nobody's condoning it. Nobody says even that it's understandable, even remarkably close to right. But at some point, like the young lady said, it wasn't a coincidence that she said the number 3. By the time a third child comes, it's a routine, whoever that person is. Mm-hmm. The PFA, all of these things that consisted up until this point, we still don't know if they were in an on-off relationship, if she was presenting something to the man that wasn't what it was and he found out. But what we do know is he obviously has a history that she had to have known about.
She known about.
Now, I would say...
At that point, when does it not become your own responsibility to save your own life?
How do we know she wasn't trying?
Because she didn't leave. She had 3 more kids.
What does that mean?
Again.
So we don't know.
I've met women who say, well, it's my baby father and I can't for the kids. But now they're both gone for the kids. At what point in time is because he's not going to take the responsibility of stopping being who he is.
So it's up to her. Here we go. This is the problem.
It is up to her.
This is the problem. But this is
hold on.
This is the problem.
1 minute. Hold on. 1 minute. First, let people know who you are.
Yes. Hi, I'm Tasha, owner of Healing Outward, Looking Inward.
That's your whole spill. Who you are? Give me the spill. Let me know.
Yeah, you can
social media, because we about to get into it. You're not gonna get this opportunity. I'm telling you.
Okay. I'm Tashi, the owner of Healing Outward, Looking Inward. I actually started my business because I was in a domestic violent relationship, my husband, and it had got to the point where I could have been that girl. I seen my life flash before my eyes, and it was at that point that I knew I had to stop dealing with him. But while I was fixing myself, I learned that, like, as horrible as he was to me, what was it about me that I kept dealing with him? What was it about me after our breaks that we kept getting back together? So I had to look inside myself and figure out why I was allowing these things, because, okay, he was physically violent, but if I started looking at my past, I had emotionally violent, I had financially abusive, so I was accepting all of these things, and it was like I had to start healing. So that's what my business is about. Healing outward, but looking inside, because everything that we're going through is what we're allowing or what we're not changing. It's all about self. That's my whole movement of self.
And it starts inside. Yes. It starts inside. Yes. So did you start your journey of healing before or after you left?
So this is the crazy part. We were on a break. And that's when I started my business and I started the healing pattern and stuff. And I started thinking, like, maybe he might be a narcissist. That's the word that they throw out here, but I really did research about it. And I took him back. And that was like my test run. And that was when I found myself choked out on the bed. So it was like that last go round. It could have been my last. I didn't think he was going to let up. And I remember my last thoughts being, are my kids going to have to find me here? And all I was thinking about, not the fact that I'm dying it, my kids are going to find me here, and I was doing so good, and I let him back, and I know there were so many times that girl let him back.
And in that same situation, you can't, and I get that. It's going to be, everything that we do, everything that we tolerate takes some look into self, okay? So when I say victim shaming or victim blaming, my thing is, everybody's journey is different. What time you took to see and realize and take that step and move was what you need. Nobody couldn't make you do it before you did it. I'm quite sure you had conversations with people that was probably telling you to leave a long time ago.
Stop
right?
talking to my mom.
Everything. But wasn't enough.
No.
It didn't happen until it was something in you that said, you know what? You started healing, you went back, you seen that nothing wasn't going to change, and you said, you know what? I'm seeing my life flash before my eyes. I need to go. I need to do what I need to do.
But ultimately, it was my
if
children.
If she didn't make that decision and say, God forbid, that time would have been it, or she didn't make that decision and the next time would have been it, right?
Because it gets worse and worse and worse.
Do we not say then that she had a little bit of responsibility in the matter?
In the matter of being stabbed to death, hell no.
In the matter of allowing him to come back
allowing
to
herself
stab.
to be in
It's
the position.
Because she
I
could have
can't-
left. She could have
Because
left
she
him.
could have not been in that
She
situation.
could
at
have.
all.
She could have. Everybody coulda, shoulda,
No,
woulda.
not-
Right? Anybody coulda, shoulda, woulda. But I have a problem with the fact that we can't look at the act within itself. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so there was this clearly was a domestic violence relationship. It was history going on. Granted, yes, but that does not mean that this woman is at fault for being stabbed. 18 to 25, the discrepancies of the 18 to
fault and
25
accountability
story.
are two different words.
I think you're more concerned with the actual action. He's gonna go to jail for the action. We get that. If he would have stabbed her one time, he was going to jail for the action.
I look at it like this.
But the fact that it was 18 times, the fact that it was so many times, means that there was some other side of that which had to come from her end. I'm gonna tell you, as a man, we don't just do stuff for nothing. And a crime like that, we do because we.
It doesn't mean that the something warranted that.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't. That's all. That's the only point.
That's
the only point I'm trying to make.
Did he overreact? Of course.
Clearly.
He lost his mind. His mind was already lost a while ago. It's been gone.
All right, so what pushes us to that edge, bro? There's a few things, bro. There's a few things.
Listen, it's a few things. I understand what you're saying, but I said this before. I'm not clinically a doctor. I like to believe that I'm intelligent enough to be a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. So I blame this on, again, orientation and culture. When cats lose, when people have episodes, not lose their mind, when people have episodes, they emulate the things that are already extreme that's going on in the society around them. Like we talked about the time when the boy was shooting the girl in the crib or something. He came and shot the girl that was in the house. I forgot how the joint went. But he got on Instagram and he talking crazy with the gun. Hold on. When dudes 20 years ago, when cats was going through whatever they was going, they didn't do it like that. They're imitating culture. Even when they have the episode, they're imitating culture. They're imitating what's going on. If we stabbing, he gonna stab. If we beating people up, we gonna beat. If we using guns, he gonna get on. Like he was tough. You just shot this girl, which ain't nothing tough about it. It don't make you no type of thorough, real man and none of that. But he was talking shit on Instagram the same way everybody else talks shit on Instagram. Why? Because that's the culture. So when people have episodes, they imitate culture. They do and say things that they're seeing going on around them. The reason why I make that point is because culture is what makes you think that a woman should be able to be treated in that way.
Like property.
Because that's what you do to your property. So that's one end. The other thing about culture is, yeah, she probably could have left for it, but we telling each other out here a little bit of toxic is cute. Right. That's culture. Right. I don't know how old they was, but that's culture. So him being a little crazy, a little off, girl, that's just him showing that he love you. You can get that rise out of him. He love you. And on her end, or his end, it's like, yeah, I want a girl to be a little, possessive and calling me 30, 40 times, and you telling your man I done put the John on it. No, she is not well. You are not well. But we're telling people that that's how this goes. That's attraction. That's culture. So what you had in that car right now was culture coming out. It was any two humans could have been in there. So now when you talk about systems, we can take it a step further. What are the women teaching our young women? What are the men teaching our young men? Because that's how we get into this point in the car. That's how we get into it ain't about me telling my daughter stop wearing short skirts. It's the culture. What am I telling the young men that I'm around? What type of culture am I putting out there to them? The shit you saying, women are not property. Women are the most powerful thing that you can have. You need to maintenance that. You don't need to abuse it. That's not going to get you what you want. Abusing it ain't going to get, but that's what they being told. And young women are being told that he love you, girl, because he responding to you like that. So now she trying to do shit to push your buttons. Now, a lot of women can be like, no, we ain't, but I'm watching it in real time. And like me and you was talking about earlier, age doesn't matter. Right. I see 40-year-old women doing it. I see 25-year-old women doing it. I see 60-year-old women. Don't make me come out here. You 60, man. And now I know why your daughter act like that. And I know why her daughter act like that. Oh, and I know why they having relationships like that too. Right. And the same thing for the young boys. Your pop ain't there. You coming up with shit off the fly, listening to your man who getting his shit from his older brother. And he don't know shit. So it for real, it's culture, dog. We are not changing culture in the way that we are treating each other, the way we're training each other up. We don't have no rites of passage. We not explaining what a healthy relation looks. You have people doing it. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I said as a culture that we're pushing forward, like every time you see me, I'm telling you, I love black women. Every time you see me, I'm telling you, black men need to step up. We've been talking about this for about a week now. Black men need to stop running, and black women need to stop allowing it. And what I mean by allowing it is, stop letting that nut-ass nigga sleep on your couch. Stop letting him play video games all day. Stop letting him be the oldest boy. Stop letting him do it. Stop lying for him, mom. Stop lying. When the girl called her, be like, I ain't getting into that. You need to grow the fuck up. If you're going to have a relationship, have them properly. I'm not lying for you. When she called here and start acting crazy, I'm not getting on the phone and start cursing her out and all that to protect your nut ass. Because you're allowing your boy to run. And it's the same thing with our women. Be accountable. Just be, everybody need to be accountable. Stop saying, oh, it's his fault that I did X, Y, Z. Stop saying that. And your girlfriends need to step in and be like, yo, sis, you wrong. You going down there to get that PFA and you know it's a fucking game? Don't do it. But we got too many sisters going down there to the courthouse with her and cheering her on. Yeah, we gonna get this nut ass nigga. We gonna get it. You know boy take care of his kids. Why your girlfriend ain't stepping and say, girl, don't take him for child support. That's not what we need right now. Not saying child support ain't, and I hate to say this, you get to a point where you don't have nothing else you could go to. Because it's like the gun shit. Young boys talking about the old lady is a snitch. Y'all got her hostage in her fucking house. She the only one that owns something on this block for real. Y'all talking about this my block. She put money and she owned that crib. Who she gonna call if she can't call you? But now she a snitch. This is the shit, and nobody stepping in and telling these young boys, that ain't cool. That ain't right. So it's that moment in time in the car, that's us.
And you know what else it is though, bro? Is stop the cyclical nature of, you know, oh, it was this, oh, it was that. We can't even hold on to the fact that this man stabbed this woman 18 to 25 times. We coming with the, well, what was going on with her? Well, what was going on with him? Well, a woman to do something, what she had to do something, or what was he, what? Like, we can't even stay in one spot before we going in circles and circles around who said this, who. That's not how you get shit resolved. That's not how you change the culture. You got to look at a situation and break that incident down. You have to break that system down. Now, don't get me wrong. Foundations. We all have backgrounds. We all have foundations. We come from a black people of, you know, descendants of slavery, right? So we got the generational traumas instilled in our blood. It's been studies and stuff to show that it is in our blood, right? So we have all these things going on, but we can't ignore the acts. We can't just justify them by saying, oh, we ain't going, something had to happen, or what was it with her? What I am asking, right? I'm not asking nobody to look at the man and say, oh, what was going on with him? I'm really not. This is what I'm saying when I'm talking about victim blaming, right? Why is it that we got to go from, well, this girl being stabbed multiple times right into it, what did she do?
Right.
Where's the moment for this woman to be recognized for what actually happened to her? What actually happened to these kids? What actually happened to that man in this moment? It's not the, well, she could have left. She could have left multiple times. Come on now. Like, this is why women, one, snap, why men snap, because we got a whole bunch of people talking at people in these situations and feeling as though they should be moving according to the way that we see them and how they should be moving. And it doesn't go that way. It may take 1 or 2 years for a woman to leave. It might take 5 to 10 years for the next woman to leave. It might take 30 years for the next woman to leave. But it does not minimize the fact that she was abused. Okay, yeah, after she leaves or during the process of leaving, you can find yourself and see where you were wrong. No matter what traumas or situations you have going on with you, I don't care how long you stayed, it was never okay, and it was never your fault that somebody put their goddamn hands on you. And people out here making excuses, trying to say that, oh, she could have left him, she could have left now. This is the reason why men are doing this shit and women are scared, is because they blaming the victim. This is what I mean by victim blaming. Look at the act. Take accountability for that. If that woman did not leave, she clearly was trying. Okay, I don't know the specifics, but I know she went and got a PFA. That I know. Now, there might be some people out there that go down. Who knows how serious a woman is when she go to get a PFA against a man? She might have people convincing her to do it. She might have people telling her not to do it. In any situation, we can't dictate other people in the way they should or shouldn't live their life, when they should be making the decisions that they make. Everybody is not going to be aligned and going to fall into the same situation at the same time in their life. People are different. We got to respect individuality.
I listen.
That's it.
I totally respect individuality, but I still believe I'm not victim shaming, because I think a lot of that, what we seeing is that's just a culture of Instagram and the news and all that. It's negative. Like, it's like the shock jock thing. A lot of people don't understand how the culture changed when, like, a cat like Howard Stern became famous. A lot of people don't understand that sports, politics, he changed the way people view media. So everything is from an extreme. Like, you want to say the most extreme thing. You want to act the most extreme. Go back and look at Howard Stern and look at how radio changed after Howard Stern. Everybody became a shock jock, no matter what your information was. Whether you was in music, whether you was in politics. I can show you people who, from politics, Republicans, that took his stance on how that they did politics. When you watch CNN or you watch Fox News or whatever, you would see people being ultra combative, saying things that they knew weren't really true just to get a response, or bringing the most extreme people on to be guests because you knew people was going to jump out there on it. Stephen A. Smith is a result of Howard Stern. Skip Bayless is a result. Rush Limbaugh, Howard Stern. Hannity Combs, Howard Stern. Could they be as extreme as you could be, as loud, as overbearing as you can be to get a response from the people? It don't even matter what you saying. Skip, if Stephen A. yell enough, people will get in their seat like, you don't even really hear what he said, but you ready to respond because he yelling. He'll say the most extreme things about people. The same thing as Skip Bayless. He'll be very extreme about somebody. Why? Because you're going to get a response. That's all Howard Stern. Even music and the way people would rap and the things that they would say, the most extreme things get responses. And that's usually negative shit. So Instagram feeds right into that. You're not going to get a lot of people that's going to follow something that's going on if everybody on there is like, well, we need to pray for her and we need to make sure she's okay and make sure the kids are okay. You got to have people that's going to make other people get on it. So when they get on the line, and some of those responses, my daughter made me made me more aware of this during like political time. Some of those responses are fake.
Trolls,
just to get trolls, exactly.
Oh,
just to get
absolutely.
responses.
Oh, absolutely.
And people run with it.
Absolutely.
This is how they get traction. So a lot of the victim shaming don't even come from from real places. Like they don't even got the information the victim shaming. They already jumping. Well, where was she at? Just like you said. Well, why she do this? But why she do that? And that's just to get a response because you know this is a serious situation. And if you say something to the contrary of just having condolences, people gonna jump right on it. Whether they rock with you or they want to rumble you. Like, why are you saying this right now and this girl just got stabbed up? Because she shouldn't have been in the van. She got 6 kids by him. She know better. That's exactly what they want. So that's going to be the snowball effect.
It's something else to create division.
It is.
And like you said, like I didn't know about her, but I did see today it was a mom that stabbed her children. Then it was another one about a father. So for me, I'm a heavy conspiracy theorist. I think that like they put things out there, and because they know Instagram is so influential, then it's the culture. So now you'll start having more and more incidents of violence. That's a mom killing her kids, a man killing his wife. It's all black people. So all this stirring up is the division in our community and stirring our culture up more for us to be violent against each other. It's just stirring the pot. And like you said, there shouldn't, to me, victim shaming, I believe that there's 2 victims here. And they're both victims of society. You know, him not being able to control himself emotionally, that's what you talk about. Our men not being able to step up. Her not being more into herself and being accountable and seeing the signs and having self-love to be able to walk away earlier. Instead of it being something that we worry about, it should be something that we look at to help each other, because it's like, that's what we need to see. Men, this is not okay. You know, you need to be able to control yourself. Women, when you see signs, you know, we need to see these signs, like you said, meet the parents and all this other type of stuff. See who we're getting into relationships with way before we bring into children, because once you have a baby with someone, you do want your family to work. So there are a lot of mitigating circumstances that we don't know about, you know, but it's natural for you to want it work and see it not working and still just keep going. But there's a lot of things that we need to institute into our culture so that this is not acceptable, you know, stop it from becoming a norm, because that's what social media is trying to make it. You had 1 incident Saturday, I done seen 2 more. There's going to be a lot more because we are allowing our brains to be infiltrated by this social media, and that's controlling our society.
It creates the culture.
One more point about that before we get a little bit more into like who you are, what you do, what's your resource and all that, because we don't want to forget about you. Okay. We don't want to forget, and we love that you got input in this conversation. Right in. And you fit in, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? You fit into the conversation because you have firsthand experience of situations like this. But to your point, and going to gun violence again, that's what they doing with gun violence. Because when you look at the numbers, per capita, it's really not something we should be this much in arms about. For real. And I know people like, what? People getting shot, they shooting in. It's 1.5 million people. If you look at the numbers, that's not really, but what they are trying to do is, the reason why they putting it on the news like that is not because it's a violent act. Because if that was the case, we would know about all the rapes and child molestations that's happened in Central America Central PA as we speak. Because if you get locked up, unfortunately, or you move out to these places and listen to their news, pedophilia and rape is a regular. And it's not promoted like that. You don't see the people's faces that they putting out there. These older white men raping and touching and doing all this. They don't put them in the news like that. You feel what I'm saying? But these young boys, or who they assume to be young boys or young black men, or give you the impression that it was black men, you want to keep pushing that. You know why? Because they want you to think of black men in a certain way. Right. And not just the overall culture, they want us to think of black people in a certain way. The same thing with both of y'all are saying is like, yo, you're making the woman like she's the problem. Why? Because the black woman always has been a problem, right? She's always been an itch. She's always been mean. She's always been nasty. So she probably did something to him that deserved it. And the reason why she didn't leave is because she was just being a typical black woman, being nasty to this man and doing all the shit that black women do. And he snapped. You understand you feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I'm saying that's what the narrative that get pushed in these things, and the reason why they keep showing, because, and then that's where you get to the victim shaming, because we're looking at black women, black men are looking at black women as she was property anyway. So I can dismiss her property whenever I want, however I want to dismiss it. You know what I'm saying? But then on the other end of that, you have the age-old thing about black women being so difficult, and she's so mean, and she's so nasty, and she's so manipulative, and she did all of these things. She drove him crazy. But she made him do it.
But she just can't be a woman that is like torn
No, she
between
can't be.
what's actually happening to her and her wanting
A
to
white
keep
woman
her
could be.
family together.
An Asian
You know,
woman could
like
be.
she can't just be that woman
Arab
that's
woman.
in the midst of like
Lost.
you know, like fear losing this, because you know, as black people, we come up, we want like the family. You know, it's they've torn our family apart so much. We want our family so bad. This woman just couldn't be a black woman that is taking a stance and forgiving a black man for doing wrong, for doing her wrong, for being there for her children. You never know. Like I've seen videos with her and her kids. I don't know if there was any kind of abuse with the children or something. You know, you can never say. But the only point that my conversation came from the Say Her Name segment of the show that we do about black women being protected and about black women who find themselves in certain situations being being blamed for being in those situations.
And one of the things that always comes out and Say Her Name is the fact that black men need to step up. We need to protect our women more. We need to protect our moms more. We need to protect our daughters more. We need to protect our counterparts more. We need to protect random black women we don't know more. Even if they gonna turn down the help because they've been conditioned to think that you're the threat and you're just trying to ease your way in to do some weird shit. But
or they don't want you to get hurt.
Right. So exactly.
They don't want you to. They appreciate it, but they don't want. They don't want you losing your life. I see comments up there. She had a PFA, but it was current. But she let them back in. The kids was age 5 months through the age 13. Like this in beautiful, like these is, and I don't know what the age difference is amongst them all, but all I see is a struggling black family. Period. This was a struggling black family.
What she said, and what you said to a certain extent as well. Like, and this is not a bad thing. Women think more in terms of the family. So when we talk about she should have left, she should have left, she should have left. It's an instinctual part of her. Instinctual. Not intellectual, instinctual. And I just had this conversation. You can't get around instincts. Instinctual shit is gonna come out. Now we can use our intellect to mitigate that or put boundaries around it or discipline your instincts, but your instincts always gonna make you do whatever you have to do to eat. There's nothing you can do to get away from the instinct. Your whole body is gonna operate in however way it has to operate to eat. The same thing is to procreate. Your body instinctually wants to do that. We have to put systems, discipline. Like that's where the intellect comes in. How do you regulate the instinct? So the instinct for a woman is to maintain her family. That's an instinctual thing. That's not a thing that just some women have it, some women no. Some women do it at different levels. That's where the difference come in at. But all women have that instinct to want to keep the family together. You know what I'm saying? And that's a part of the I can't get away. I don't want to go away to a certain extent. I want to see if I can fix this for my family.
6 daughters?
So that's another thing
All
where
girls.
when we
All
start
girls.
really looking into how we're moving and what our orientation is and all that, you have to be mindful of that. That's the thing. Again, you're going to keep putting yourself in harm's way because I'm trying to keep my family together. I'm trying to have a family. The same thing you told me earlier. Like, yo, a lot of what you deal with is because I'm not going to understand nothing other than my family. I want to have a family. However I got to do that, I'm going to have the family. What you saying might make logical sense, but it's not making us a family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And getting into that where you get to that point where you look into self, right? You have to physically take yourself out of that circle. Okay, this is my family. You have to remove yourself from the family, take a look at yourself and say, what is it that I need? Right? You gotta be selfish sometimes. You know what I mean? And she hadn't got to that point yet.
It's not selfish though.
But I'm just saying, I'm just using it. It's not selfish.
No, the
but
example-
people will call it selfish.
Right. Because the example I was about to use is Not even an example. The thing that I was about to say to your point, but why I would say, and I would keep telling people, is not being selfish, because at any given moment, you're not just mom. You not just somebody's girlfriend. You not just somebody's sister. You're all of these things. And you have to move into certain spaces to get the other shit regulated. I have to move more into I'm moving more into the brother space so I can see, like, hold up, the shit going on with me being a dad and a boyfriend and all this. I got to get away. I got to get away from that for a moment. Mm-hmm. And people need to see you for that too. Because that's another thing that happens. Some men look at you as just the mom. She's just the mother of my children. You know what I'm saying? She's just my girl.
She was a black woman.
Yeah, she a lot of things.
Before she was any of that.
She's a lot of things. She was a lot of things.
She was a black woman.
So I want to know, since you talk about, this leads right into wellness.
It definitely does.
Wellness. What was the first thing you did once you understood, like, wellness is something that I need to be more on, or I need to be doing, or what was one of the first things you did as a wellness tool or wellness exercise or something that you read? What was the first thing that you gravitated to that said, listen, I'm going on this journey?
So the very first thing I did, but even before, like, my relationship got chaotic, someone took me to a creek, the creek that I'm trying to get y'all to go to. Like, this is like my place. I like to take people to help them heal, but that's where I started my healing journey. And when you say remove yourself from the family, I remove myself from society. It would literally be my morning routine. I'm waking up, I'm taking my kids to school. My oldest daughter's school was right down the street from the creek. I'm there from when I drop her off till after she gets out of school. I might go pick her up, or she'll walk down until like 5 o'clock till the kids get, aftercare. They were there for aftercare. And I was literally there all day long, journaling, reading, learning about chakras, learning about crystals, learning about, different things that I needed to heal, sitting there writing, learning about things that I had buried, suppressed, that I didn't know were bothering me. And what I really learned about all of us, even possibly the girl, the victim, a lot of our things that we allow in our adulthood is from our childhood trauma that we did not correct. So somewhere along the line, I wouldn't be surprised if her family structure wasn't what it should have been. Mm-hmm. And that maybe she seen something growing up and it was like, just that I don't want my family to be like the things that you go through when you're younger. You say, I'm not going to beat my kids like this, or I'm going to make sure my family stay together, Mm-hmm. And maybe that's
these
what
affirmations that we make.
Right. These things we manifest, not even knowing,
Mm-hmm.
And I just had to go, and I even remember listening to a book. It was called Unfuck Your Mind. And it was about all the things that you had learned and like been socialized to, and how even the things you don't believe, you hold on to because it's so ingrained in your mind. And on the flip side, she could have had a mom that she seen go through whatever, and maybe her mom's situation didn't get that bad. So it's like, what have we learned? How is it serving us? What do we need to unlearn? But it's really the first step is to separate yourself, because you have to learn how to define yourself other than a mom. And I went to therapy too. I ain't gonna hold you. I have a lot of years of therapy. And I remember one time going, and in the intake, she was like, well, what are you here for? And I literally told this lady, I want to learn who I am. I don't want to be defined as black. I don't want to be defined as Muslim. I don't want to be defined as a female. I want to know who I am as a spirit, as a energy, Mm-hmm. And I had to go and find that out. And then once I figured that out, now I know who I am. Now we can talk about standards.
Mm-hmm.
When you have standards, then you institute boundaries. And that's when the self-love really comes in.
That's
because
when it come in, yep.
What you can make all these boundaries, but then you have to execute them.
Yep.
You have to stand by them. You have to, but that time that I took by myself, it helped me be okay, because a lot of us, I can only speak for women, we don't know how to be alone. We don't know how to be alone, and that's because that inner child is so broken that we will be with people that we know aren't good for us, or keep going back to things that we know aren't good for us just because we're so scared to be alone. Yep. It's scary to be a single mom with 6 kids trying to make it out here by yourself,
Yes,
so maybe the fear of just doing that could have brought her back, but again, it's self-healing, because if you have those boundaries, once you be like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. you find a way. There's resources. There's all kinds of things, but it's ultimately about you, like doing what you have to do for yourself. But you have to figure out what that is, you know. And I tell people, like, I'm not here to give anyone a healing agenda. I'm just here to help you to the path, because everybody's is going to be different. Because we all have our own different traumas. We all have different things we need healed, you know. So I can just help you get there and give you some methods. But it's ultimately up to you.
Absolutely.
So is that your resource? What you just told us?
So no,
I was just getting ready to ask that. Like, is that, because is that what
your
you do?
research?
Is
So
your
I sell. It's healing outward, looking inward, and for real, that's whatever you need it to be. So I have, for people that's looking for physical health, I have sea moss. I make juices. I do herbal teas, things like that. If you tell me what you're going through, I'll look up different herbs and put something together for you. I get into crystals. So when I talk, I like to talk to people and hear what they're going through, because sometimes when I'm talking to you, I can hear your trauma. Right. So then I can know, like, oh, her throat chakra's blocked, her root chakra's blocked, you know. And then there's different crystals, there's different exercises, there's different food, there's different ways to help you unblock your chakra. So it's really, when people say they want to heal, what are you looking for? And that's my job, I feel, to accommodate you in whatever way I can.
That sounds
Are
great.
you still alive?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yo.
Absolutely. This journey, boy.
Whenever somebody starts talking about like crystals and chakras and astrology and signs, I always think about, she came in here and she was like, what was it? What was the date? It was 2014. I don't remember what it was. It was like, but she was like,
it was in February.
like, she's a very pleasant person anyway. My sister's a very pleasant person.
I think.
At least what I know, because his eyebrow went up when I was like, yo, she's a very pleasant. He like, okay.
Don't do that.
I'm just messing with y'all. He did not do that. He did not do that. I don't want to call strikes in nobody's house.
No, but it's an awakening.
Right.
Right. And that point from that awakening and you traveling that journey to better yourself, to heal yourself, to improve yourself, that process can be a process. You know what I mean? So, and things will come in and try. The devil is busy. They will come in and try to throw that alignment off. You I understand what you're saying. You would try to come back and be like, no, get back over here with me.
Hey, listen, it was alignment week, I think. That's what she was calling it. Alignment.
But it was a date. It was like a date that like started it.
It was a day of alignment. It was
the number date?
It was 2/2/22.
2/2/22. 2/2/22. Yeah, that's what it was.
It was a day of alignment.
And it carried over because I ain't gonna lie, I started waking up and yo, for real, after she said it. Yo, I started waking up and I'm like, yo, I'm good. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm moving around doing 1,000 things. People like, yo, you gonna burn out? You gonna burn out? I'm like, yo, I just feel good. I feel like I just need to get it out.
Yes.
I feel aligned.
Yes, and that's how I came. Like, whoa, you know, it was like an awakening. Like, really was an awakening.
Nah, you feel that in the morning.
when you in that way, boy, the devil
like,
turn it up.
It's like when it's kind of. And it's kind of like somebody that's like bipolar, right? Like truly bipolar. Like what y'all say is bipolar is not bipolar. You just moody because you eating McDonald's and it's making your body act weird. So now you're moody and you talking about, you know I'm No, you're not. If you knew what bipolar was, you wouldn't say that. So folks that are bipolar, a lot of like artists, when they be on their high, their creativity be through the roof. Like it be like, and it's crazy because the entertainment industry, the cats that they know are that they try to find when they on it. And I learned this from Martin, because Martin is bipolar, and he was like, when he was at his height, he knew he was going to crash. He knew it was going to come a time when he was going to be running in 100-degree weather with a sweatsuit on. He knew that was coming. But while the show was going up, he was on one of those high. His creativity was like he was the ball.
That ooh-wee.
But the industry knows those cats that are, and they try to commodify that time.
Exploit them.
Exploit them. You know what I'm saying? And it's a crazy jump.
That's exactly what it is.
But before we get away, we gonna steal a little couple minutes like we always do. He ain't hear that. But why do you do what you do? Like, you gave us a little bit about your backstory and everything, but what is the reason why you do what you do?
Because literally, like, after I started putting things together, and like she said, it is an awakening. It was really one day when I was there, and it was like, this is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to do. Like, I always grew up in Lower Merion. So, like, when I would come to the city and stuff, and I would see things, and it'd be like, well, why is this like this? Why do they live like this? Why? Then I'm living here, and it's like, why the hell are these people so angry? You know, and then it was like, when I started getting into healing, it's like, I'm supposed to heal. I'm supposed to teach people. I'm supposed to talk to people. I'm supposed to help. That's what I'm supposed to help my people heal. Because even in the angriness and stuff like that, it still didn't turn me off from that. I still wanted to help heal. And then also, when I was looking at my relationships, I said, oh, you keep taking your work home. You ain't supposed to be with these guys. You're supposed to help them heal and send them on their way. You know, so let me make a business out of this.
That's what she mean by taking her work home.
Oh my God, I like that.
I thought you meant
home.
like you was going to the crib with everything that you was doing.
I'm
out there.
home.
The guy. Oh, it's like a psychologist dating somebody that's on the couch.
Client. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, wondering why they breaking me, because you're supposed to spend an hour with them, not 24. Like,
Yo, that's crazy.
That's your life.
What I will say about that, and the thing that I connect with really is, I'm not gonna necessarily say I'm supposed to be a healer, but I genuinely get love from like making sure people cool, like, you know what I mean?
Healing work. See, healing work is all different aspects. Like, even saying the men need to step up and the women need to do this, that's healing, you know? So even if you're there just to delegate what needs to be done, then you bring in people that can help you with what needs to be done.
I'm very big on that. Bring the people.
Yeah, very great.
Bring the collaborations.
Yes.
Anything you can do. I'm dead ass serious too. This is an advertisement right here. Come on down. Come on down the Cornerstone and help us out. Whatever skill set you got, I will find a way to make sure the people are being served with it. Like, seriously, just come on down. And I'm about to get this dope ass other job. I got another I'm dead ass serious. The Salvation Army on 17th and Fairmont. I'm about to run all of their activities and outreach stuff. So I'm gonna be in the gym all fucking day.
Oh man.
I'm gonna be in a fucking gym with a hoop court all day.
Man, that shit over for you, man. That shit over for you, man. That shit over for you.
Listen, let me explain something to you about that. I don't plan on being competitive with anybody. I just gonna be in the gym. I just get in shape. I just want to shoot. I might run every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? I really want to get leagues.
You maximize your
I just want to get leagues started. I'm one of them dudes. I like watching. You know, I just like basketball. I'm a basketball junkie, so I could watch it anywhere. I could be at the game. I can be on at the park somewhere. It's just as interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's my new John. It's gonna be dope. I know my man gonna come down there because he still think that he got it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I still got to play. I'm on the field 2 hours a day working out. I still got it. I still got it.
Bro. The kids got me saying bro now. Bro, 2 weeks, like a month ago, you didn't have. You know what? I'm gonna let you keep this because I love this. I love that you back at it.
That energy.
I love it. And I ain't even gonna shoot no shots.
There you go. Don't take him out of his alignment.
He's aligned right now. He's back. I seen him a couple days ago. Right? Yeah, I love that boy. That's my bro right there. But he looks younger today. That's all I'm gonna say. My man look younger today, and I'm happy about it. You know what I'm saying?
That do that for you.
Yes. And my man got a lot of things that other men wish they had, and that's real rap. You know what I'm saying? That's real rap. My man got a lot of things that other men wish they had. They wish they could hold up too, for the man conversation, because every man can't do it. Yeah. For real. With all our flaws and warts. Yeah, with all our flaws and warts, and all of us being fallible. A lot of people can't hold up and do certain things, man. Like, and we gotta respect that and champion those people as well. Don't hate. Be somebody that help. If he's the one that's able to do it, lift him up. If she's the one that's able to do it, lift her up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that we really gotta lean more. That's a culture changer.
Right.
Instead of looking for a reason to be like, she don't breathe here like that for real. Yeah. Why not find a way to link with her and we can take it to another level? Don't be, you know what I mean? He ain't really bored for real. Why not see what's up with the brother? Maybe we can link up and it could be another type of thing. You know what I mean? It can go to another level. But I think we
Pay
we
it
pushing
forward.
the time. Yes, always pay it forward. And come on
Seriously.
down to Cornerstone. Yeah, come on down. So before I get out of here, because I know he about to clip this situation. We got Motion Mondays. So when we doing Motion Mondays, we trying to be more intentional about our physical health and have outreach as a part of it. So the first thing that we're trying to do, and we have started doing it, we just go around the community, pass out whatever flyers are relevant at the time, and it's a way to just get your feet moving, walking up and down steps, walk through the neighborhood, be able to get to know people, and then we'll come back and do some type of light workout, and it'll morph into something bigger. Then on Wednesday, we have the community table. The community table, we're going to do town halls every last Wednesday. Every third Wednesday, but every other Wednesday, we want action plans. We don't want to complain. We don't want to just be talking about solutions, because that's like, well, we need to talk about solutions, and then we just talk about solutions forever. So what I'm asking is, come with actual action plans, something that you're going to do or you're actually doing, and what you're requesting from the people is some type of input, not verbal though. Either they're going to come volunteer or they're going to give a tangible thing that can push what you're doing forward or help it make it easier for you to do it. And that's what we're doing on Tuesdays. Wednesdays. Am I missing anything? Anything? Oh, we got a garden, so come on, help us out with the garden. Friday, we got our PYN kids are done. I'm happy that we had this experience. I learned a lot. We were able to do it. And if you can come down and show those young folks some love, just pull up just because. Just pull up just because, you know what I mean? They weren't in trouble. They didn't get in any trouble. They did what we asked them to do. We didn't have no fights. We didn't have no disrespect. You know, I was just happy. Like, these kids, I don't know. I guess we didn't cherry pick. And y'all know what I'm talking about, because some people cherry pick for their organizations and then pipe it up like they really, but young boy wasn't going to get in no trouble, and you knew it. Mm-hmm. Come on. And I'm not saying those kids shouldn't get help, but you knew it, so don't try to sell it like those are the kids that you transforming. Other than that, am I missing anything?
No, we want our special guest to share, if her Instagram, social medias, and anything.
So you can follow me on Instagram at BE_HOLI. I have a website, 2BeHoly1.com, and you can go on there, order CMOS. You can also book a heart-to-heart conversation. So I'm doing something where, like, if people just want to vent, they can call me to talk. We can make a meeting to go up to the creek. That creek thing is something I actually offer.
I'm going to the creek.
Yeah, so whatever you want. If you want to start healing, you can contact me. All my information, everything's on there. My phone number's on my site. So just call me and we can start. It's not like therapy. I want people to know it's therapy, but it's not like therapy. I've been through so much. There's no judgment, and I'm really just here to help people find their path, whatever that means to them. This isn't like religion or anything like this. This is for you to help you start your path to healing. So.
That's it.
So she's going to come back, because I'm sure it's some stuff that we left out, And
I'm at every event
and the CMOS. I would definitely like to see some products,
Well, I'm going to be at every event Jarue throws. And I don't know who's watching, but if you drove past 52nd and Walnut, I'm the girl that's out there on the weekends with the incense man. So he has his table, and I set up with him right next to him. So every Saturday.
I ride past there all the time.
But I'm only out there on the weekends. Saturday
I ain't
and
out
Sunday.
there on the weekends.
So on the weekends, they can find me on 52nd and Walnut from 12 to 4. So.
Okay.
What? All right, one more thing, really quick before we roll though. What did y'all learn about the middle of the street? Like, the cops can't, L&I can't move you. Like, I was wondering how boy got there and nobody can't mess with him.
So long, like, he's cool with everybody. He's cool with L&I. He's cool. Like, he's just.
Oh, all right, I got you.
I told him he needs to be like a historical person. Like, he's like, everybody knows him. No, it's incense, it's oils, it's.
I'm gonna have to go cop from
you. You got to. You got DVD, everything.
I'm the assist. Okay. This is my right hand sister.
Raw Cannon.
Nick, the queen. This is PSA Philly Service Announcement. Takeover Tuesday Takeover. Love, support, grace, social activism, resources, and art. Took, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, too.
Love, love, love. That's what we doing out here.
Always.
Thank you for having me, guys.
No, thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Yeah.